Author Virginia Morell joins us now. Now, you do so much that we would take up all of our time if I were to go through your bio, but in essence, you do a lot of science writing, and
Yes.
that's where your heart lies. So let's talk a little bit about that, how that's springboarded you into doing so many other things.
Well, I love to write about science and the natural world particularly, and to convey my passion and the passion of scientists, what they're finding out in nature. So that's what I try to do, and I love to tell stories, and what you find is that scientists are really sort of treasure hunters. They're always on a quest to find out something new, and so you have sort of a built-in storyline to share with your readers.
Treasure hunters and storytellers.
Both, yes. I think one of my favorites is in my new book, Animal Wise, and in it I tell about the story of a man named Jaak Panksepp who discovered that rats laugh. And so I asked him, I said, people have been studying rats for over almost 200 years, and what made you think that rats would even laugh? And he said, well, he was watching his rats play, and then he noticed their mouths were open. And so then he put a bat detector machine and a little instrument inside the cage with the rats, and he heard the first sounds of rat laughter. So, you know,
That's a wow.
Yeah, it's a complete wow. And here's a man who just had that much attention, that he was so interested in his rats that he would notice something like that, and then he could talk about the importance of laughter to their social behavior, to their emotional development, and why it's a key component of our own development and how important it is to play.
Now, just having told that story, you have me engaged, you have me intrigued, I want to read more. And science gets a bad rap when it comes to reading.
Yes, and I think it's partly because scientists themselves use a lot of what's known as jargon. They have technical terms that they use in describing their work, and sometimes in doing that they lose the story. So I see my job as partly coming in and trying to explain to more general readers what it is, all these exciting things that scientists are finding out. Again, one of my favorite moments actually was going to meet Irene Pepperberg, who worked with a wonderful African gray parrot by the name of Alex, and to actually hear Alex talk and answer questions that she asked him, and to hear him practice. He had a little toy cube, like a toy block, that was next to him. He was learning how to say the word brown, and he would pick it up and he would hold it up and say to Irene and her two assistants, "Tell me what color."
Oh my.
I know. And they would repeat together simultaneously, "Brown, Alex, the color is brown." And then he would begin to practice that sound. It was extraordinary.
Will we get to the place where we are communicating just on a day-to-day basis with our animals?
Well, we do. Those of us who are pet owners, we already do. We may not realize it entirely, but anyone who has a dog, you know the dog sits and watches your face. And what they're actually looking at is they're watching the right side of our faces where our emotions first appear, and they see that first hint of laughter or joy or anger, and they respond to that. So they are real students of the human face.
That's so fascinating, so intriguing. And that's just one area of what you write about. You regularly write for Science, National Geographic. And has science writing changed in the years that you've been doing it? You alluded to earlier, getting away from the jargon that may turn off certain readers.
Yes.
But in other ways, has it changed?
I think it's just there's more interest in it, and so you see especially young people doing a lot of blogs and trying again to find some way to convey the excitement and the importance of the discoveries, what they mean to our lives, why it's important to have science done, that type of thing, yes.
And certainly technology has changed.
Oh yes, and technology is a huge part of everyone's life, and you wonder how these things work, and so that's another area that science writers are very good at helping us to interpret, the technical devices we have in our lives. Yeah.
So what are you working on right now?
I actually had a wonderful assignment from National Geographic, and I was with orcas in Norway for a week, watching them hunt and fish in schools of herring. It was a remarkable experience, so I'm working on that.
Oh.
And I'm also working on a very interesting story about bats that sing. And this was something entirely new to me. I thought that, like most everyone, bats do echolocation. They send out sounds that we can't hear in order to hunt. But they sing, too. The males sing very much like birds do to attract mates. It's remarkable.
It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Laughing rats, singing bats. Who knew?
Yes.
Thank you for
exactly.
joining us.
Thank you too.
We've been talking with author Virginia Morell.